Welcome back. These last two episodes shed some light. Okay. Some true colors came out. Okay. The baddie clothes came out. What happened to the classiness? What happened to the, oh, I hear you, I see you? Mm, okay. Now we're going to get into it from a therapist perspective. I am Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I keep it really 100 over here. Okay. No cookie, no PC, none of that. We going to keep it real. Because a lot of people who are watching this is some of y'all. But we have been so focused on the discourse of Edmond. You know why? Because people are afraid to admit that that's them. Okay. And we're going to all do a little bit of a deep dive today on these last two episodes, focusing a lot on relationship dynamics, how parts of ourselves are being played out on screen, but people are too afraid to admit and see that, oh, that is me. That was once me. That was an ex of mine. That's who I'm sleeping with tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna need y'all to tap in, hit that like, hype up the video, subscribe, join the membership. It's only $1. Okay, support the channel. But as a therapist going into these last two episodes, I had low expectations. Okay, because I already saw from the beginning of this season, there's gonna be a lot of fluff. They didn't have a lot. Okay, even looking at Storytime Ricky, it ain't a lot going on. All her videos, where they at? Okay, she hasn't done a lot because this cast is just boring. Okay, there's not a lot of drama. There's not a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. That lets you know too. You gotta people can pay attention to the noise around these episodes in this season. It tells you a lot. Now going into these last episodes, we saw the couples visiting apartments. Were all them real? Okay, me and the families, and we start off with. I'm gonna start off with KB meeting Edmond's mother. There has been a lot of discourse about her, so let's get into it.
Yeah. You know, in the past, we talk behind a wall and fall in love with each other based on the insides. And so for me, when it came to your son, Edmond, he just immediately just opened up. By day 3, I'm just like, okay, when do I get to see this man? Like, when do I get to see Edmond? Just falling for who he is, his story, his life. But him being able to be vulnerable, a lot of men can't be. He can be very vulnerable. And so
I've seen a lot.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. And so in my job also has a big part to do with like the love that I show in different areas. I'm a travel social worker. And so it's like I'm able to relate. A lot of things that me and him talk about, he's never talked about. Even the experiment does that on its own.
It could be things about Edmond that I don't even know. So, if he finds, especially like his soulmate, to open up and share that with, then come on. That's beautiful. What?
Now, his mama says she went through her Instagram. I have also gone through her Instagram. And I think once again, I'm going to say we're going to very demure, classier version of KB. Now, we saw her pop out with the baddie outfit at the party. That's the real KB. Okay, if you look through her Instagram, what she was wearing at that country party, whatever they tried to make it be, that's who she really is. Okay. For I don't know if it's for TV, what, but this, version of her is not the same that I saw on Instagram. Now, how do you feel about his mother saying that she went through her IG and looking through the IG, she was like, oh no, this ain't the one for my son. But then when she got to know her, it was like, oh, okay, I see. But sometimes we look at people's backgrounds, where they're from, and just make judgments. Okay. Now, throughout the dynamic between these two, it's interesting how the mother, once KB walks out the room and the mother is having a conversation with Edmond, she talked about raising him. And the look on Edmond's face was like, now, mama, you didn't raise me, but I love you unconditionally. And we on this show. But we know it wasn't all, rainbows and lollipops. I was in foster care. And no judgment against the mom, because I've also worked with a lot of foster care youth, moms who are trying to regain custody of their kids. And sometimes due to different trauma, primarily trauma, you end up on the streets using drugs and a lifestyle you never really wanted. And your kids are ultimately the ones who become victims of your trauma. So I don't know much about the mother, but I know she didn't really raise him. Not 100%. And I left this scene kind of wondering more about their dynamic because she presents one way, very at times philosophical, saying these things, but do they land? Okay. And what are the action steps behind, what does their relationship look like off screen? Okay. I'm wondering about the dynamic here because I think that they were both being very polite, very respectful, KB and Edmond. But I just want to know more about that mother-son dynamic because I think it plays a lot into who Edmond is, how he shows up, how he presents. And there's been a lot of discourse about him as an individual, him being on this show. And I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm gonna do a separate video just on Edmond and a lot of dynamics of him. So I think that it was interesting to see the mom, but I would have also have liked to see other people in his life. Other people who've been around him currently, grew up with him. Because some of y'all think this is acting, but when I look at his Instagram, I think it's the same person. Okay. I really feel like it's the same person. She seems to really care about him a lot. His mother loves him, of course. He loves his mom unconditionally. But there's still so much as a therapist I have questions about. How did he end up in foster care? I want to know his relationships like with his siblings. What is his birth order? I got an idea. Maybe I'll DM him. Okay. I'm just like kind of wondering more about those things versus these edit scenes and bits and pieces that we're getting of him. I want to know what makes up Edmond. Okay. Not just this scene that we have. Okay. Now she brought out the baddie uniform at the cookout. Okay. At the country little thing. And it's interesting to me because I feel like in these episodes, we start to see the real KB. Okay. I feel like we have been getting, a version. And I don't think she likes him. I don't. Look how she opened the box. She don't even look excited. She looks over this experience. He got roller skates.
These are so cute, though. That's a very thoughtful gift.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Check it. I'm down to do it now.
I got little ankles.
This was a cute scene, but she don't like him. Okay. I'm not seeing like, what was in his sock? He had something in his sock just now. A bulge. Y'all see that? I wonder what that was. It ain't no ankle monitor, right? But I see the potential. But this ain't no situation where the potential is going to take you further to marriage. I kind of feel like KB is kind of over this whole like dynamic. And so when we get to the rodeo, you see it. You see how, it was only for so long that she could pretend to really be feeling him. I think once Mexico was over and they started living together, I think it kind of melted away. And so we get to the rodeo and we see how, to me, Edmond becomes the whipping boy. All right. Edmond becomes the whipping boy. I wonder if there's any other clips from the rodeo. What did I just do? Because we see everybody come together. And during this time, Edmond is having a conversation with Annie and Nick, and Annie is saying how she thinks that Nick is perfect. Okay, stop saying that, y'all. Nobody is perfect. All right. And he's like, oh, perfect? Really? I don't be hearing that. Just the way you said it, and there's like no hesitation. And KB walks up. Say it. What'd you just say? Baiting him. Say it. What'd you just say? He's like, Just that, you know, I I wish I would hear more good things about myself. Okay, the fear in his voice, of the wrath. Because even in that rollerblade scene, I could tell like what just happened before that. The energy in that room was telling me that there was tension, that there was some argument or something that happened before. And so we get to the rodeo party and let's dissect this. You know, I feel like KB has been feeling some way. And because the way she's been feeling, I think it comes up. She's tired. She's tired of pretending. And this is where it comes into me that some of these women do not know how to emotionally regulate. Recognize some of the things that I want to say in my head do not need to be said out loud. We have to recognize that when we are in public and we're having disagreements, different things in our relationship, we need to learn how to hold some of that. Okay. Learn how to recognize everything that I am feeling does not need to be said out loud. And so I also saw something else in this scene between them. And I'm not his therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like there is some neurodivergent stuff happening. Okay. And so when I watched him trying, like, in the moment, he's processing. He's trying to process why she is just, you have one partner who's trying to process and it's still coming at me. Okay. And I think people don't recognize that sometimes your partner processes things differently than you do. And being able to see and step out of myself and ask my partner as I'm, is he okay? I notice that he's getting quiet. He's not really saying much. So I felt like he was trying to process what was going on and didn't have the words or the ability to emotionally articulate what was happening in his mind because she just kept beating a dead horse until eventually he was in a corner and he couldn't get out of that. People have to recognize when, is this the right time and place, y'all? And she kept saying, oh, no, say it. Talk about it right now. You brought it up here, cuz. You brought it up. Instead of recognizing, what am I feeling right now? What's coming up? Is it him? Am I being triggered? Can we talk about this shit later? Do we want all this on camera? Do we want this to be happening in front of all these people? And communicating, hey, what you said over there when we were having a conversation with Nick and Anna, or with Annie, it did bring up some stuff for me, but I would really like us to talk about it once we get home. Once again, y'all, where's the emotional intelligence? To know, Wu saw that shit. Okay. Why continue to, I don't want to say antagonize, but push him into a corner? Okay. Why continue to push him into a corner instead of recognizing something's going on here? And maybe this is not the time and the place. And she don't like him. And I'm not sure if I saw the weaponization of his vulnerability, power over instead of powering within. Maybe I saw a lot of that happening in that one scene. Okay. I saw a man just get stonewalled. Okay. And just like the wall is just like, it's closing in on me. I ain't got nowhere to go. Ain't nothing I can say to kind of fix this situation. I don't have the words. I'm not equipped to fight this battle. And even when, he went over to the guys and came back and the guys are like, no, go over there and say sorry, work it out. He tried. Even though at that point, I think he was just probably just like mentally drained because I don't think Edmond really has the capacity at times to read social cues, and doesn't pick up on things at times. But I don't think she has the patience to recognize that. So the power dynamic with them is very off. And so once he tries to go over there and talk to her, she ignores him. And why was that necessary? Once again, recognizing my actions in the dynamic. What role do I play in the conflict that me and my partner are having? What is my role? What am I doing to contribute to this fight, argument? Am I making it worse? And I think she was making it worse. Okay. And we are all works in progress. There are times where I say stuff out loud that I was like, I should have kept that in my head. Okay. I should have kept that in my head. Sometimes I don't have the best filter. If you've been here a while, you know that. But I don't have the best filter all the time. So we're all works in progress. But it's also having the ability to reflect and the accountability of like, oh, is this the right time? Now she stepped away and went to the bathroom with her phone. Okay. I think it was a little bit too late. And you see how I think Edmond becomes a little puppy dog, trying to get his wounds licked, trying to just like, oh, I'm sorry. Pet me. Hold me. I'm sorry I ate the sock. I'm sorry I was scratching the couch. But the partner or the puppy mom, you should have known better. You know not to eat my socks. You know not to be scratching the couch. I raised you better. Okay, for all y'all pet moms, pet daddies out there. But this is not gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. I want to see the women learn how to emotionally articulate and regulate more. You see the same thing with Madison and Joe. Okay. Same thing with Madison and Joe. Um,
I'm doing it. I just want to tell you my feelings during it.
You have been. That's what we're doing.
And it's being taken in a way.
It's not being taken in a certain way. My feelings are being taken in a certain way too, Joe.
I'm
because
sorry.
when I said yes to you,
I guess I'll fucking just
meant
keep
it.
everything I have inside
Okay, well, that's
and
really
not
fucking
fucking
helpful,
have
Joe.
a
Because when you
conversation.
fucking asked me to marry you, I fucking said yes, and I fucking meant it.
This experiment is not fucking normal. This is not fucking
You knew
normal.
who you signed up for.
Tell
This
me-
is for marriage-minded people.
Do you think I'm not marriage-minded?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Right now,
okay.
no. I know. Honestly, no.
Yeah,
Right now,
okay.
I know.
Okay.
Like, why am I fucking wearing this? Where the fuck is my guy? I feel like such an idiot. I sit around with a ring on, excited about you. Well, I guess we'll just put that on ice. A minute, because I don't know how to feel right now.
now look, two things can be true. Okay, he doesn't like her. He not feeling her. But at the same time, she doesn't know how to emotionally regulate. Yes, Joe ain't into her. Okay, and there have been times where I'm just like, Joe, go back to the party. All right, go do something with yourself. You're drunk and doing too much. But in this scene, I'm like, oh, I'm on Joe's side. Okay. Joe to me was trying to be vulnerable, trying to articulate like, hey, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. This is all very fast, us getting married in just like a couple of weeks. Can you hold space for me? That's what this was. An opportunity for her to show, can you hold space for me? And she cannot. Okay. She can't because of her emotions. And I want to see the women learn how to emotionally regulate, recognize what's coming up, articulate, hey, I'm not in a space to be able to have this conversation right now. Instead of blowing up and letting your insecurities, your anxiousness, your fear of this experiment to get the best of you. If you are having a disagreement with your partner, why take off the ring? Why is that like you know what? I'm gonna take off the ring. Why do you have to go there? Why couldn't it have just been so many other options I can think of that I'm not gonna list all of them. But I think that she's insecure. And I think that it's not gonna work, yo. He not feeling her, but at the same time, I need you to learn how to breathe, okay? And not have to go to, you know what? Here's your ring on ice. In this moment, Joe is like, I'm trying to just like tell you how I feel. We're supposed to be getting married. These are conversations we're going to have in our marriage and much harder conversations. And right now you're showing me that, A, I can't be vulnerable with you because you don't know how to be a safe space for me. And I think in this moment, a safe space could have been like, oh, thank you for sharing those things with me. I'm glad that you trust me to share those things. And I've actually been having some of the same thoughts and feelings. Or it could have been, oh, wow, thank you, Joe, for sharing that with me. Let me sit with it for a second. Because I'm having some things come up based off of what you're saying to me. But I want to make sure this space right now is about you articulating your feelings and not about me. Communicate, articulate. This is not about me right now. This is about you. So I'm going to put my feelings over here so we can focus on you. But do you mind if we come back to my part of the conversation once you've been able to tell me how you feel and express everything? Because I want to really just make sure I'm holding space for you. But y'all don't know about that. Y'all don't know how to communicate. That takes somebody with a very high EQ, emotionally intelligent IQ, to really be able to formulate what I just did. And I know some of you are gonna be like, that's so unrealistic. Maybe it's because I'm a therapist. I don't know. But you have to be able to take your shit back. Okay, know that I'm uncomfortable, but this space right now is not about me. It's about Joe. And communicate. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm having some feelings come up, but I want to make sure this is more about you and not me. Okay, but y'all don't know how to do that. Okay. And then side note, they go to Joe's apartment, which I don't really believe was his apartment. I don't believe that was his apartment. It low-key looked like a dormitory. It looked like a hotel. It didn't look like it was his place. It was not given to me. Him reading the 7, what's that book? Highly successful people, whatever that popular book is. I don't know. It just seemed like it was somebody else's place, and he didn't want to really mess it up. It was staged. Okay, it was very staged. There were some other people on here. We saw what the hell was with that chicken shake. That was disgusting. And for Megan to be like, "Let me try it too, girl. I don't love you that much." Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You about to have me eat this damn chicken shake. Now, I'm sure they probably do. They got it on here somewhere. I guess not, but that was nasty. Okay. But Joe and Megan ain't going nowhere either. Okay. Megan seems slightly obsessed with his son, Luca. It's almost like there's some weird, like, grief going on that she's channeling through the connection with her father, through somehow with Luca. I can't really explain it, but there's something about his son that she feels like she can kind of still stay connected to her father who's deceased somehow through the child. Y'all know, I hope that makes sense, but it was just kind of weird. Okay, it was kind of weird. Is there anything else I really want to talk about? Oh, this.
Like, you got engaged.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, he's gonna be okay. It wasn't gonna be me anyway.
Well, it was gonna be you. That was the fucking crazy thing about it.
Yeah, but like, how can you say that and then like still get engaged to someone else?
Because you left. You were my number one.
But like,
and then Kacie was a number 2, but she was like a distant number 2, you know?
You still proposed to her, though.
Yeah, I
You know
know.
what I mean?
If you were there at the end, I would have chosen you.
To me, it's not fair for you to say, it was you, it was always you. But it wasn't. You asked another girl to marry you, and I know that I wasn't there. But, like, if I was in the back of your mind the whole time, like, you
He
can't
looks
ask
so
someone else to
baffled.
marry you.
Like, how is this happening right now again?
Just don't say that it was gonna be me.
It was gonna be
'Cause it
me.
wasn't.
It
The
wasn't.
facts are, you told someone else you love them, which is okay. I cried when I left.
Yeah, over who though?
Well,
You and
chose to
Blake.
leave.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
See, so it's a 2-person thing for you. It was just
Yeah, but I didn't tell anyone else I love them.
Okay. Lots of layers here. Let's break it down from a therapist. Lots of layers. Okay. Now, I think these are two people who are grieving the joy that they thought this experience was going to have. Okay. This is to me what grief sometimes looks like, not always about grieving someone who's not here, grieving a person, but grieving experiences. And I think both of them are, to me, grieving what they thought this experience was going to have. But instead of, um, Anna reflecting on my own kind of reasoning for leaving, I'm going to say, well, let's put the blame here. Okay. Let's become the victim. And it's just sad to see Patrick over and over again be put in these situations with these women. For what purpose? For what purpose? Like, how is Patrick the prom because he chose somebody else? Yet, playing devil's advocate here, some of what she said is true. If I was your number one, how were you able to quickly just move on to somebody else? Okay. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. She got one on you right there. Okay. If you really were in love with Anna, how could you jump to somebody else so quickly? Even though you also just said that Kacie was a distant number 2, but you were willing to get married to her. Patrick, you got some stuff to work on because I think you just came here to find a person no matter what. Okay. When both these women were really not that into you. But Anna, also, you were not ready for this kind of experiment. You were not ready to be married. If you can run off that quickly when feeling, like having unsettling feelings, learning how to communicate that to this person you were dating in the pods. What happened to that? But once again, there's no emotional intelligence in this season. Okay, Anna, you left. You left. You can't say I left, but no, there's no but. You left. And I don't know what the time frame was between Anna leaving and him proposing to Kacie, who also is a damn, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but she's trash. Okay, not wanting to give his ring back. Kacie was there with a boyfriend. She came for TV. And I think, like I said, my last couple recaps, I think her guilt of wasting this man's time, knowing that she can't really pretend to be kissing him, possibly sleeping with him for money from the show, money from the fame. She couldn't go through with the plan and she aborted the mission. Okay. And I'm sure when she called her boyfriend, he was probably like, what? What do you mean? The plan was get this check, get this money. But it's sad to see, in some ways, Patrick be rejected again. Okay, be rejected again. I feel for this man because it's like, oh, damn. At some point, you start to wonder, damn, am I the problem? Is it me? Am I the drama? And though Patrick is not the problem, he does have problems he needs to work through to figure out himself, who he is, how to show up in a relationship with himself before showing up in a relationship with somebody else. Okay. And that's a key that I got from these last 2 episodes. I don't know if these people are showing up for themselves as much as they're showing up for this show and the people they're coupled with. Okay. I think there's too much emphasis on outside people, outside of myself. They don't even know they selves. And you're going into a marriage not knowing yourself. Okay, that's really sad. Now, I'd be surprised if anybody to this day is married from this season. The show was filmed almost 2 years ago. Now we got Anna online saying, "Please respect my privacy." Have y'all seen that? Please respect my privacy. I went on the show. It didn't work out for me. Leave me alone. I don't know where I saw her little iOS story at, but yeah, she basically want people to leave her alone. She won the show. It didn't work out for her. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. But these people need therapy. Okay? Therapy is the answer. Please do more. Be better to yourself. You got to be better for yourself before you can be better to somebody else. All right. I'm about to be on a brand deal trip, so let's see how I'm gonna record my little the recap of the wedding, I guess, during my little brand deal stuff I got to do on location this week. But I'm excited about that. I, have a couple things I want to talk a little bit further about this season, but it's a wrap, y'all. Let me know, was this the worst season? Could it be the worst? And I want y'all, if y'all got to the end of this video, let me know in the comments, rank the worst seasons. Okay, rank the worst seasons. But thank you guys for sticking with me this season. Hopefully you got something out of this video and learned about yourself. Hit that like, subscribe. And do you think anyone's going to say I do? Or will we have a couple runaway brides and runaway husbands? Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.